Greg, for holding this hearing today, and my thanks go to our witnesses for their time and insight as well. Looking forward to working with you and President Trump and the rest of my colleagues to pass a full 5-year farm bill of this Congress, a farm bill that promotes crop insurance, expands trade into new markets, and invests in the next generation of farmers. Coming from Ohio, a state with nearly 76,000 farms, 11,000 of which are in my district, I'm proud to be on the Agriculture Committee. As has been discussed several times today, input prices are still sky high. Prices have come down, but not to pre-Russia-Ukraine war levels. And in today's modern farm economy, you need the best seeds, fertilizer, and equipment to compete. It is amazing the innovation that has happened in the agricultural world. It didn't rain for months in southern Ohio this last summer, and yields were still much higher than what was ever possible 30 to 40 years ago. But one of the ways to improve farm efficiency and yields is to adopt precision technology. Precision ag technology ranges from GPS and yield mapping to several other items that can help reduce input costs, detect pests or diseases early, and increase farm profits. I think one of the main things that is overlooked is the necessity to have rural connectivity with a lot of precision agriculture technologies. My district is extremely rural, and at least 24% of the farms lack internet access to adequately track and utilize these innovations. Can any member of the panel speak a little about the benefits of precision technology for our farmers and the importance of rural connectivity in this equation?
Yes, thank you for your question. I can speak to this in a multitude of ways. So first and foremost, we live in a very rural community as well, 1,000 people in Miles, Texas, and about 20, 30 miles from the next Walmart. And I work remotely full-time, and so in order for me to do my job, I rely so heavily on rural connectivity and ensuring that I have adequate access to internet to do my job and to be able to also provide that off-farm income to continue to support our operation and our family. In addition to that, so many of the technology that you describe when it comes to equipment relies on rural connectivity. And without it, we lose out on those efficiencies that help us with, lack of labor in some instances. For example, we invested in a cotton stripper, a round baler, just a few years ago. And with the technology that provides us, it has enabled us to essentially eliminate a few jobs that we previously relied so heavily on temporary workers for. And so just that alone, the ability to take advantage and leverage the technologies and the equipment that rely on that rural connectivity, it's so important that farmers and ranchers, but also just rural communities in general and workers in rural communities have access to appropriate connectivity.
Thank you.
So for us on our farm, we use GPS with our laser technology leveling fields, as well as GPS when we're disking and ripping and plowing, as well as GPS when we're cutting lines. And we've seen with lasering, ripping, and disking, we've seen a 20% savings. That's not only in time, that's in fuel, that's in tires, that's in the whole broad spectrum of savings. And so that has been a tremendous advancement for us, and it just continues to get better. We're using it. We're starting to use it on our smaller tractors when we're cultivating and so forth, where we anticipate seeing probably another 10 or 15% improvement in our efficiency.
Thank you. Dr. Newton, I want to ask this question, and then if you would just get back to me with the answer, because I know I'm going to run out of time before we get to it all. But as of 2022, Ohio is the country's 10th largest agricultural exporting state, shipping out over $6 billion in ag exports. Corn and soybeans represent over half of all agricultural exports from the state. Representing 7 counties that border the Ohio River, I know how vital it is that we utilize the river and continue to grow our export markets. Our agricultural trade deficit is projected to be over $45 billion, and our commodities have started to be pushed out by others from around the world. The Farm Bill trade programs, a market access program, and the Foreign Market Development Program have shown great benefits to our farmers, but they have not seen any increase in investment since 2022. Since that last increase, Brazil's soybean exports have increased by 431%, and they have replaced the United States as the world's largest soybean exporter. This increased competition in the international markets has eroded the edge the U.S. once had in the soybean export market. It's clear that we need to expand into new markets, which is why a full farm bill is so crucial to the farmers in my district. Dr. Newton, what do you see as the main barriers to expanding our agricultural trade abroad, and how can we reduce our agricultural trade deficit? Again, you can get back to me with your response on that. Thank you, and I yield.